Today we look at a trap out of the Scotch Gambit that I recommend in my E4 The Jedi Way course. You can get that by clicking the link in the bio. Check this out. E4, E5. Knight F3, which attacks the pawn. Knight C6 defends the pawn. We go D4, the regular stuff. After D4, they can take the pawn. And when they take the pawn here, instead of taking back, which is a Scotch game, I recommend the Scotch Gambit with bishop to C4. It's a very fun line, very aggressive. I've been able to play this same exact variation over the board against a very strong player and was able to win the game in flawless fashion. It was literally a trap he fell for, and I was able to play it. And of course, I cover that in the course as well. After Knight F6, right, it attacks the pawn. I go E5. This is a longer variation and a longer trap, so stick with me. After pawn E5, we attack the knight, and then black goes D5 here. After D5, what this move actually does is the best defense is offense. This is something I teach all the time, which is attacking the bishop. So if we take the knight, he'll take the bishop, and black is actually better in some of these lines. So bishop to B5 is what we play here, of course, getting off of this attack that was just on us. And we also attack the knight at the same time. Now this knight is attacked too as well. So it needs to move away. There's knight D7, there's knight G4. But the main move is knight to E4, going into the center of the board. After knight to E4, we go knight takes D4, which attacks this knight actually twice now with the knight and the bishop. Generally, you go bishop to D7, which defends the knight. And there's bishop to C5 as well. Bishop D7 happens. After bishop D7, we actually take this knight with the bishop first. And then after pawn takes, we go with castles. And we're going to fast forward some of the theory here because it is not quite long. It's a little long. After castle, there's bishop to C5, which develops. We go F3, which attacks the knight. After knight to G5, which goes back, we go F4. The reason why we didn't do F4 in one move is because we're able to actually gain the tempo, which is actually what they call time, by playing F3 first, which attacks the knight. Once the knight moves away, we go F4, so now we get the same move, but with tempo, making this knight move twice. And after F4, which attacks the knight, it goes back to E4. Now we need to develop, still follow principles. Remember, all our pieces are on the back rank right now still. So we need to develop, so bishop to E3, and after castles, we go knight to D2, developing more pieces. After knight takes D2, we take back with the queen. Queen takes D2, and then black is now trying to break up the center because we have space. Usually a pawn on E5 signifies that you should attack on the king side of the board, right? So with this pawn structure that we have, we should be trying to push stuff like this, be very annoying and aggressive towards our opponent, stuff that we already like to play. And so black plays bishop to B6, which with the idea of playing C5 in lots of cases. So we want to control the C5 square as much as we can. So we bring this knight, we put it back to B3 to control the C5 square. What does black do next? They go queen to E7 to really try to emphasize that they want to, have some control over C5, maybe even play C5 at the right moment. We don't give them that chance. We go queen to C3. This has all happened in the game. This is still a trap, so watch this video as much as you need to. You can also grab the course in the bio. But after queen to C3, which is putting more pressure on C5, again, with knight to C5 is our idea. Black plays F6 to try to really break up the structure. And after F6, we go with knight C5 anyway. The idea here is if bishop takes C5, we will take bishop takes C5, and of course with the skewer, we can end up picking up the rook. So if we go back here, instead of them capturing after knight to C5, black goes with what they wanted to do anyway, or intended to do with the F6 move, was to break up our structure. So pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, and then after rook A to E8, this is still all theory straight from the book. Basically, the trap, okay, is set up right now. After rook A to E8, I play rook A to E1 with the intention of saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna defend. I'm gonna bring another piece in the game. And here's where the trap is right here. Hopefully, you still been watching. After rook takes F1, black has a decision. Do we take the pawn or not to take? That is the question, says the chess Shakespeare. After rook takes F1, the pawn or the queen can take the pawn. And what black says, in fact, this is actually what happened in the game. This is the trap right here. Pause the video if you need to. Try to find the move. What is the move I play here that makes anyone fall out of their seat in this position? My opponent was shocked when I played this move. What is the move here? Of course, I cover this again in the course. I also have some videos on this where it's white to move. What do you play? The idea here, if we go knight takes bishop, Well, you are correct. Psych, you're wrong. Knight takes d7 is not the move because queen takes is check. And that's what they wanted. This is what they're actually thinking you're trying to do with rook takes f1 or allowing this pawn to be captured. In fact, the move here is rook f8. Wow, rook f8. The game is actually over. Resignation on the spot. Watch this video as much as you need to understand these concepts because this one is a very strong move. Rook f8. If this is called a deflection, by the way, if rook takes f8, then we'll take the queen. That was what was defending the queen. Okay, cool, perfect. Well, how about king takes f8? After king takes f8, well, look at that. Knight takes d7 is a fork on the queen and the king. And this one is over. So after rook f8 was played on the board, my opponent immediately resigns. Didn't even have to think about it. Now, of course, you can play more chess like this. And E4 the Jedi Way, my course, is in the bio. Now, of course, put in the comments what traps you want to see. The other ones did so great, and thank you guys for watching. So what else do you want to see? Put it in the comments, and I'll get that video out to you. I'll see you on the next one.